going. Start video. Boom. Okay. Are we good? Recording?
Yep, we're all good.
Okay. I think we're recording.
Yep, we're doing it right
I
now.
think
We're
we're
recording,
good.
and I think I got everything working.
Yeah, I think we're working. It's working a little bit, but I think we're almost good.
I think so too. This is so much more difficult than Skype. Because
No, you're
I usually do
good.
Skype for my chats, and I've never had to use Zoom. Well, my internet.
Yeah, you're good. Don't even sweat it. I just want to make sure, because am I a little pixelated or anything? Am I good?
Perfect.
Okay, cool.
Well, I'm so glad to be talking to you today, Jake. I'm a huge fan of your work in Stargirl, and you are doing such a phenomenal job as Henry.
Oh, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I'm glad you love it. It's all, yeah. I'm
I love it. I
actually
love
I'm
all
kind of
the
biased.
shows, and I've never seen anything like Stargirl. And in fact,
Really, that's all. That's
I'm a
good. That's good
fan
to
of
hear.
the character, and I've been looking forward to the show, and I'm just addicted to it.
That's great. That's great. You're ready for episode 7?
I'm so excited. The next two, I think there are two.
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's a two-parter. It's a two-parter, which are my favorite. I love it. I feel like it's more time for character development.
I'm so excited to watch. I haven't even seen the recent episode yet because we had a storm and that cut off the TV, so I had to find it on demand somewhere.
Oh no, you haven't seen 6 yet? Oh, you're gonna love it. You're gonna freak out.
I
It's
would
so good.
have, but we had a thunderstorm at the exact same time the show started, and it just completely cut off the power.
Yeah, I'm originally from the South, so I know like where I grew up, if there was a storm nearby, you're done. You're not anything.
Yeah, it's no fun when they're waiting to watch your shows and then the power cuts out from a storm.
I
So
know.
I have a whole bunch of questions for you. I got like 8 questions that I'm so excited to ask you.
Let's do it. Let's do it. I'm excited to answer.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have any more difficulties.
No, you're good, and we'll figure them out if we do. Don't even sweat.
How did you end up getting the role of Henry King Jr. for the show? What made the producer like you so much?
Oh man. Well, it's essentially auditioned for Rick initially, and because at the time I don't think Henry was really a character they're looking to develop. Like I don't think Henry was a big character for the show yet.
Okay.
And then I auditioned for Rick, and they're like, "Listen, we love your read, but we don't think you're Rick." Which obviously now watching the show and being around the cast is like that makes complete sense. Cameron Gelman kills it as Rick. But they're like, "We have another character we want you to read for." And so a month went by, and I came in, I read for the other character, and I still didn't know it was Henry because they were using fake names essentially.
Okay.
And so that was like a process of like 2 to 3 months of just going in and going a little back and forth. And then finally I got it. And I remember what officially sealed the deal was I had to talk with Jeff Johns just about the character because I still didn't really know who he was or what he does or anything like that, because they were being so secretive about it.
Yeah.
And basically after our meeting, we really hit it off, and just it was kind of a done deal after that.
Yeah, I'm still.
He was kind of
Yeah, I didn't know who any of the characters were up until I saw the show or read about it right beforehand, and I got Jeff Johns' graphic novel to read, and I'm just amazed by the work of the show and characters, and I'm learning so much about everyone, and it's just phenomenal that I've never heard
it's
characters before, and yet I know who
it's
so Batman is, but there's so many characters I still don't know.
Yeah, well, what I love is that it's like you said too. It's kind of like it's going to open this universe up to people that have never heard of it before, which I'm so excited about. You know.
And what do you remember?
But yeah, that was how I.
Oh, I'm sorry, we got cut off.
What do I remember? No, you're good. You're good. No, you're good. One more time. What was it?
I was just saying, what do you remember from your first day on the set, and what is working on the set like?
First day on set was Stripe. Seeing Stripe was the craziest thing ever for me because he's huge. You know, he's not just CGI. We have a full, like 20-foot tall Stripe
Oh,
that works and
shit.
everything. It's got like arm, yeah, its arms move and everything. Its chest opens up just like it does in the show. Like Luke actually sits inside of Stripe for some scenes. So that was really crazy. I've never seen anything like that on a set. uh Seeing that was crazy. And then also just every day you're working, like I'm a big comic guy myself, like even before I got the show, like playing a character in a superhero world was always just like so cool to me. So for me it was also just being a part of a superhero show and being a part of a world that I kind of knew and grew up with.
Mhm.
um it never really felt like set to me. It always kind of felt like a dream because you know we were working, but you're talking to your friends and castmates, they're all in like super suits and stuff, and you're using all these props that are from the DC universe. It's like, I don't know, it didn't even feel like set. It felt like an amusement park, you know?
Yeah, I was the same way. I too grew up with the comic books from DC and Marvel.
Yeah,
It wasn't easy for me growing up because I grew up with autism. I have autism.
sure,
And
yeah.
I always look to these heroes and villains and I can just relate to them on a personal basis.
Right. They're so, yeah. I mean, that's why I loved comics so much too. Like, because growing up, I was a very like heavy set kid, and I just like got bullied a lot and stuff when I was growing up. And comics were like being a redheaded heavy set kid. Like, I was just an easy guy to pick on. And so comics and stuff and video games were always
Mhm.
such an easy way for me to like relate to those characters because it's like, and I don't know if you relate, it's really cool because you spend your days kind of feeling like you don't know who you are. You're trying to like relate to something, and then you can play these games or play these comics, and when you're doing this you're the hero, or you're reading about heroes that are just like you or villains that are just like you. Like that's so cool. Like there wasn't, you know, I don't know what I would have done in my life if I didn't have stuff like that to
Mhm.
lose myself in. They're so
Exactly.
important,
That's
you
exactly
know?
how I am too. Because not only were you bullied, and I was bullied as well, and it just made me so depressed. But what only makes me feel better is watching my movies or playing video games or reading,
Right.
watching superheroes, anything that can lift my spirits and make me
Yeah,
happy.
exactly. And that's beautiful, and that's what they're there for. They're there to put you in another world, you know what I mean, to show you that you're not alone. Like that's what I've always loved about them. But yeah, for me, that was the craziest thing on set, was just being around all of that. I couldn't, you know, I was freaking out the whole
Up
time.
until today, I had no idea that Stripes was an actual robot that was built.
Yeah, not many people know. Yeah, he's a full on, like, we have the CGI version and then we have actual Stripe. That's huge. He is huge. He
How
looks like
big?
Optimus
How big
Prime
is
or
he?
something. He's huge. He's probably the size of a townhouse. Like he's 20 feet tall,
Oh my
right?
gosh.
And at least 10 feet wide, at least. Like he's huge.
And
Like
Wilson, is he able to get in there himself?
he's, yeah, they built it to where he can get in. There's a behind the scenes video we have, like there's a few secret videos I'm going to release, just that I took behind the scenes once like more episodes come out. But there's a moment where this isn't in the show. This is just like we're like rehearsals and messing around. Like you can open it and climb a ladder and go sit in there. Like, you know, like I don't know if you've seen the scenes from 1 and 2 when Pat's in the cockpit and stuff. That's the actual cockpit in Stripe. That's not like a set they made. Like if you open Stripe up, that's what's inside of them. So you can get in and like sit in there. Yeah, it's really, really crazy.
Movie and TV magic always seems to amaze me every day.
Oh, yeah, it's crazy.
And how did you prepare for your role? Did you read any of the Stargirl comics or watch any of the DC TV shows?
Well, yeah, I really feel like Henry's a super interesting character, you know, and I got really lucky with Henry because where Henry starts and where Henry finishes are two completely, you know what I mean? They're just different worlds, essentially, just for everyone. Like where Stargirl starts and where she finishes. It's just like every character has such an amazing arc and is given such an amount of respect, you know, that I had a field day with Henry just because he starts to get these side effects after his father goes into a coma.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so much fun acting and trying to figure out that sort of like, because you feel like you're going crazy. You hear voices in your head and stuff like that. Like you feel like you're starting to lose your mind essentially. And being able to, you know, play with that and stuff because it's like his father has had it for so many years, right?
Yeah.
And we don't know what's going on with Henry, right? We don't know if he's getting them or if he's losing his mind. Like we don't know what's going on with Henry.
Mm-hmm.
So just to be able to play that sort of idea of him hearing things and him kind of discovering this world around him that he's been a part of without him knowing it for years, you know, it's like it was, as an actor in a superhero world, it was like one of the coolest things I got to do, just because like any character you get that has multiple layers to them is always a field day. And then I've been reading comics, not specifically Stars and Stripes. I did read it when I got it, just because I wanted to know everything I could know. But just in general, just like from, you know, comics of the past and stuff like that. Like I just like the whole world and the way it's written is very comic book to life. Like it's very grounded, but it's still very much like you're watching a comic book play out, you know? So I just kind of took cues from that and everything. And then Henry, funny enough, out of all the teenagers, is definitely a much more darker character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of places Henry goes that no one else really ends up going for the sake of Henry's character, because he is dark. He's got a lot of turmoil in him.
Yeah.
That was really fun to play out, and I can't wait for like the next few episodes to start rolling out to be able to talk about more. But
And
yeah,
I know,
I got to have a lot of fun.
I know in the comics that he kind of goes from hero to villain to hero again.
Right, right.
And your version has a very different take on the character for Brainwave Jr. While your version
Yeah,
is
yeah.
kind of a hero right now, but he's also going through something very dark because his dad is in the hospital, and
Right.
everything's kind of similar to like the comics. How does your version of the character come to be? Like, what kind of brainwave parts did you take from the comics into your version?
Well, there's a lot of ways that Henry is similar to his father. And there's a lot of ways his character plays out that I think were done for the show in a really amazing way. There's not too many things I can necessarily say right now for the sake of just like, he has such a journey that I wouldn't want to spoil how anything happens or where that journey goes. I can say that I think fans of the comics, whether you're a fan of his villain side or hero side, people will be satisfied. I think people will be very satisfied with the character. You're in a safe place with Jeff Johns and that entire writing crew, and they definitely had a big outline. And that was the biggest thing about when I signed on to the show, is when I was told Henry's entire arc. It's just one of the coolest arcs. I'm biased, but it's one of the coolest arcs in general that I've like watched or experienced in a long time. So I think if you are a fan of the comics, you're going to freak out. There's going to be so many amazing moments, and what might come about from Henry's side effects with his father being in the hospital. And episode 9, we will get like a deeper dive with Brainwave and the relationship and everything. So there's a lot coming. But right now, I don't want to like spoil anything for anybody. But
I'm
if you,
definitely excited to see more of Brainwave and to definitely see more of Christopher being his character.
Oh, he's so good.
In like 2 episodes, and suddenly he's in a coma.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I look forward to seeing how he is at the villain.
He's so good. He's so good. Just because, well, and he's such a darn scene stealer too, you know, he's so creepy but captivating at the same time. I can't wait for everyone to see his in depth of his character, because
I
he's
said
got a
something
lot.
to Neil the other day when I interviewed him, Neil Jackson,
Mm-hmm.
how
Yeah.
kind of like that with his character.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I'm biased, but I love the villains. I love the villains so much. I think they're so good.
So if Henry were to be a hero or a villain in the TV show, what would you pick?
If Henry were to be a hero or a villain in the TV show, I would personally, just because I'm a sucker, I'd personally want him to always stay in an anti-hero route. I think that'd be really cool. I just love anti-heroes. You know what I mean? Like I love people that float in the middle. I don't really know where he goes, I can't say, but like I personally, if it was Jake's choice, I would love an anti-hero route. I've just always been like a big Jason Todd Red Hood Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's just always been, and like, and I know in the comics, Henry has floated with Infinity Inc., but then sometimes he's worked with like Black Adam. Like, I know he's had his ups and downs, but I've always loved how you couldn't be too sure, you know? And then especially in the comics after his father is consumed into his mind when they escape the realm, like that realm they're lost in when Starman comes and gets them. Um, I love how like ever since his father got trapped in him, he's kind of stuck in this going crazy but trying to be good.
Yeah.
I think if Henry were to be anyone throughout the seasons, etc., I'd want him to be that type of person, someone that's constantly like on the fence. But that's just because I feel like as an actor too, that'd be so much fun to play.
And I feel like the when I look at Henry and Cindy's relationship, she kind of
Yeah,
is kind of not really thrilled to be with her. And with the whole
yeah,
thing with the Wildcat's backstory, I couldn't believe that. But we know it was
yeah. I'm
Cindy doing that and not you. I know that for sure.
Yeah, yeah, it's so interesting. It's cool seeing like as the story develops, people finally getting to piece it all together. And if anything, and I don't know if you feel the same about this show's really big on like not judging books by its cover,
Yeah,
not taking the first thing you see and just being like, okay, that's how it is, because these characters are so much more than what you first see them as. Just like Yolanda in general. Like the Yolanda you saw in episode 1 compared to the Wildcat at the end of episode 4, you're like, oh man, that's a fully developed person right
yeah.
there. So I think that's what's amazing is I love seeing fans piece this together as we go along, and it's really fun seeing theories that people have and them being right, but you can't say anything, and like
Yeah.
that's always so exciting. And even for me as an actor watching it, you get tunnel vision when you're focusing on your character, because
Mhm.
you don't want to know too much as a person, because then your character might know something and it'll just mess things up.
Yeah.
So it's fun to go and watch episodes now, kind of like you said. And when we shot that hallway scene, I wasn't really thinking in the minute like how it played out. But yeah, it's like Cindy with the taking the phone, and it just really shows how evil Cindy is and what she'll do to get what she wants
Yeah.
and stuff. And
I still
at
don't
the
know
time
how she
filming,
managed to get the picture on her phone. I still don't know how she managed to do that right away.
I think I personally, and this is more just like fan speculation, shit. Like I don't know, like Cindy has so many different like I don't know, she's been in Blue Valley for so long. You know what I mean? She's grown up there and been kind of aware. Like she likes to run stuff. I feel like Henry just kind of does whatever entertains him. You know what I mean? He's like a rich kid just trying to like nothing in life fulfills him, so he's just trying to find fulfillment. I think Cindy is very like evilly specific. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm with you
I know
though.
she
That
had a
how
crush on Henry even when you and Yolanda were together, and I
mm-hmm.
think that was her way of getting Henry for herself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Hey, yeah.
And
Yeah.
you got to work with such wonderful actors on the set.
So many good actors. Yes.
You got like a all-star cast when you watch the show. And
Yeah, they're awesome.
what did you learn by working with each of them?
What I learned the most, because I hadn't worked on a set with people my age really. Like I did something a few years back, but we didn't get that much time together. I hadn't spent like 6 months like this on a set with like just a bunch of young adults. And one thing I learned from them is just like not just necessarily patience, but how you can be on set with people and want to still go hang out with them right after. Like we spent like 13 hours days with each other, and then we'd immediately go hang out right after. I think there was a level of like, and it was just really impressive how much everyone cared about their characters, and you'd want that for any show, but this wasn't just a job for these people. Like a lot of this cast just fully loved their characters, like I would go and hang out with Cameron, and he had Rick Tyler comics and pictures all over his wall and notes about his life, and like these people dived into these characters. And I guess it was really cool to see, because you can see it in the show, you know what I mean? It's like it's cool to see that they didn't just go, okay, superhero stuff, I'll show up, we'll go boom, boom, bang, and then call it done. Like they actually really got into the, tragedies of these characters and stuff. And then obviously any scene working with Chris was just awesome, just because he's so intense and so terrifying.
Yeah.
And we both have such a crazy dynamic that just grows and grows. So it's really fun, like working with him was just so much fun, and just learning how to riff off each other and see how sinister we could get things and
Yeah.
stuff like that. Yeah.
And
Like
not
I
on
have so
set,
many amazing moments with so much of the cast. Like they're all just
yeah. And
great,
when you're
hardworking
not on
people.
set working with the cast, what do you guys like to do?
I mean, luckily we're in Atlanta during, I mean, basically this time, we started March, I want to say 8th of 2019 and finished September 7th of 2019. So we kind of enjoyed the entire summer there. So, I mean, if we weren't shooting, we were basically like Angelica Washington and I, Beth Chappell, we are like foodie best buds. So we were basically eating everywhere, every day, like trying out different restaurants 24/7. Cameron and Meg and Yvette and Hunter, we all basically like and Breck, we all live kind of like the same apartment area or within the same locale. So we were just always going out and eating and just hanging out. Like we basically didn't want to be away from each other. It was really funny. Like I said, you'd think from shooting for so long would be like, okay, I've had enough of you for today. But we'd literally just go hang out and drive, and like it was awesome.
That's really cool that you guys get together and act like a family when you're working together.
Yeah, I love them. Yeah, we have a group chat that we all text in all the time, and like we get together almost every week, every other week to have like a little, because none of us have really seen these episodes, like that's how it does with acting. You do the scene, and then you hope to see a little bit in ADR, and then after that you just kind of like hope for the best. So we've been trying to get together as much as we can to watch.
And you waited a
Do
year
what?
to see the show. What that wait?
So long. Oh, it was worth it though.
That long.
Yeah, it was so worth it. I'm so thankful for how it's turned out too. It's blown my expectations away, and the fan base is just like, the growth in the fan base has just been insane. Like I've never been part of something of this scale, so it's like so cool for me to just like watch it all become what it's becoming.
And I agree with you there. And you and the cast have got my love and support as a fan.
I appreciate you. I love it. I love being able to talk, like, because just with quarantine and everything going around, I love to be able to get the word out and talk to fans and talk to everybody about it. You know what I mean? It's like, I mean, we had a blast shooting it. Like we're always talking about anybody that wants to interview or stuff. We're always so down because we just love talking about it and getting it out there. And I'm really excited that, by the end of July, people are going to have like a full almost 11 episodes just to shoot through. You know what I mean? To get like I'm so excited for the people that get to binge it. Oh, I'm so jealous. I mean, I've had a great time watching it week to week because I've never been able to interact, like you were saying, like with fans on this type of level, to be able to talk to each other each week to see what's going to happen and stuff like that's so exciting. But I'm so jealous of the people that get to hit episode 1 and just keep going. That's so because it's like a movie. They're basically all like little movies.
Yeah, and then when you watch the characters, I love how not just me, but other fans can relate to them on a personal basis.
Right. There's somebody for everybody. I really feel like there's someone that's walked through everyone's shoes. There's at least one person for everybody. It's great. Like, and it's really interesting. What I love is seeing who people are actually drawn to, like who people fall in love with. It's not always who you expect. You know what I mean? I love that.
Yeah, when Cindy in the first episode led Stargirl to the table of the outsiders, I felt like that was me being invited to the table of the outsiders.
Right? It's good stuff, right? And then the whole, what I love too is like the whole cast, they feel like they've got the world against them. You know what I mean? Like I feel like as superheroes, they do become, I guess what I'm trying to say is it doesn't feel like they've gotten together and now they've just got it all figured out. They're these super cool, crazy superheroes. They're learning. They are still kids making mistakes. Like, I think that's so cool. It reminds me a lot of, because I'm a both. I'm a huge Marvel and DC. Always have. I've never understood the fights. Like, I'm always like, I've loved both parties. It's kind of like with video games. Like, I'm always PS4, Xbox, Nintendo. Like, I've always been like, yeah, let's add more to the party, a bigger party. So like it gives me a lot of Spidey vibes too. Like he's one of my favorite heroes. It gives me a lot of Spidey vibes, just like because it's like, but the loser gangs remind me of like a bunch of Peter Parkers, kind of.
Yeah.
Like I love them to death. Yeah.
Spider-Man was actually my very first superhero that I was
Same. He's my guy. He's my guy.
I saw the
Um,
movie with Tobey Maguire when I was like 5
yeah,
when it came out, and
yeah,
that just drew me right in. As soon as I see the
yeah,
Marvel logo, I go to every other movie.
yeah. And you know what's so funny is Brainwave's always given me a little bit of like Norman Osborn vibes. He's
Oh
always,
yeah,
you know what I mean? Um, yeah, but it's like I don't know. I love like I said, I'm so biased, but I love hearing that, like when you say it is true. It's like it is, these characters are so relatable. It's great that everyone can find like a vessel for themselves in these characters, because that's what we want at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Like you can only relate to a show if it, you can, a show's only as good as its characters you can relate towards. That's how I feel about it.
definitely.
Yeah.
When you watch all these shows from Marvel or DC, you don't
Hmm.
find anything else that you can relate to in other kind of projects. You just look at the superheroes or the villains and see yourself in them.
Yeah, when it's also, they're regular kids. I think that's what I love so much about it too. Is it's just like they're just a regular bunch of kids that got the suits and the powers and stuff. It's not like, like I don't know. I really love that they didn't go down this they look like they're 30 in high school and stuff like
Yeah,
that. Like, it feels like it's genuine. It feels like genuine high school stuff. I don't know. Yeah.
no, like with Andrew Garfield at 30 years old playing
Yeah.
Spider-Man.
Yeah.
I always think that was just weird.
Oh, so weird. I'm with you. So
But
weird.
Tom Holland has definitely nailed the perfect age for playing Spidey.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and then Andrew was like, I thought he was a great Spidey. I thought he was a cool Spidey, but his
Yep.
Peter Parker was just so cool. Like I didn't see like my biggest gripe I always had with that was like, well, Peter's like riding skateboards and is
Yeah,
dating
he's
the
always
pretty
been
chick. Like
a
he's
nerd.
cool. He's not a
He's always
Yeah, he's
been
not
a nerd.
a like he's that was the whole point of like Spidey, is that he's not cool unless he's Spidey. Like I was,
Yeah.
to each their own, to each their own.
No, like his personality changes when he's Spider-Man.
Yeah, exactly. It's supposed to be like, yeah, exactly. Dude, I could talk Spidey all day though. I could talk
Same.
ridiculous.
You should see all my collection of Marvel DVDs. I got practically every movie ever made.
Oh, that's amazing.
So I got a couple more questions.
Yeah.
Is there any particular experience or scene that you've done on Stargirl that has stood out to you as a memorable moment, or something that you just really loved about being on the show? And what was it like with
Hmm.
the cast and the crew in those scenes?
Uh, yes, I definitely say actually one of my favorite scenes. Um, I definitely say episode 10. We do some of the craziest stuff I've ever done in my entire career, which will be really cool. Uh, but as far as like of everything you've seen right now, one of my favorite things to ever shoot was the drive-through scene. Was when
Oh,
Henry
yeah.
and Courtney and all them first fight. Because in one day we got to see the practical effects of the fight, and we had these rigs for stunts when she's flipping over us and we're all fighting and all that. Like it was a whole night shoot, so that was all rigged out. And I'd never seen like a stunt rig like that, having people flipping and using the staff and stuff like that. And then seeing the car get blown up was just absolutely crazy, because that's not a CGI explosion. That is a full on. They blew up a car. Like
Oh my
it. Yeah,
god.
it's yeah. They completely like they. It's really cool because they basically put this thing inside the middle of the car. There's a car that's made to blow up. They don't technically use the same one. They put it in, and it like kind of makes the car jump off the ground and shoot out fire. And that was the craziest thing. And then also just like that was Breck and I's first time working together, because we didn't do the cafeteria scene or any of like our later scenes. We didn't do those till the week after. So that was our first time ever like doing the first scene as Henry and Courtney together.
Mhm.
And so it was funny because we're pretty close, Breck and I, but like that first scene we had to basically like hate each other and like fight each other and stuff like that. But that was so much fun. And Jeff was there. That was like one of the first times Jeff was there. So it was just kind of like the first week. So we're all getting everything together and all putting it up to go. Like, you know what I mean? And it's just like the excitement of shooting the pilot and everyone feeling like, oh my God, this is going to be like, that was one of my favorite experiences. And then there's a lot of like, especially 7 through 10, there's a lot of amazing experiences and a lot of crazy stuff that happens just across the board. But I just don't want to spoil anything. So But of what I can talk about right now, that was probably one of my top 5 moments on the show was the drive-through for
And
sure.
car, was that a real one or was that built specifically for that scene?
The car that blew up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on this because I'm not like I don't know the specifics here, but I'm pretty sure when they're rigging it up, it's a what they call like a film car or something. I don't know if you've ever been to Universal Studios where they do like the tour, like
Yeah.
they do like the tram tour, and you go behind the back and they show you like studio cars that was used in like Fast and
I've
Furious and
seen
stuff like
YouTube
that.
videos at
They
the
basically
Universal Studios.
Yeah, exactly. So it's the same concept. They basically take a vehicle like that, right, that mimics the one you have, and it's made to be blown up. Like it's made to shoot up out of the air and stuff like that. Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the rig setup was nuts, and like the explosion was huge. You have to get everyone back, and like yeah, it's crazy.
That's really cool. Um,
Yeah.
you mentioned having Spider-Man as a favorite character of yours from Marvel. Who is your favorite DC character?
Oh man, you're really gonna do that to me. Oh, that's tough. Uh, Okay, all-time favorite DC character is Red Hood, Jason Todd.
Oh
Down,
yeah,
hands down. Hands down. And you know, because I've always been a Batman guy. Like I always have, you know, like Batman, Wolverine, Spidey, like those are always like kind of my top three. Ghost Rider is heavy in there. Love Ghost Rider, love Punisher. He's already like a dunzo. And then obviously Barry Allen Flash. Wally West Flash, which was that was such a funny thing when we first starting because everyone thought I was going to be Wally West, which maybe in another world. Look, I love Wally. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, I'd say Jason Todd because I'm just like such a sucker for an anti-hero. And like when and Spidey wise, like Ben Riley was always like a huge Spidey guy for me. I loved the Clone Saga and the Ben Riley, and like I just love that attitude of the character. And plus Jason Todd's story, like that was just like he was killed because voters killed him. Like that's like that was so crazy to me. Like he was
yeah,
voted off, right? And then that was just like a really big like the Lazarus pit and him coming back and just them going down that storyline. Like Jason Todd's origin story is just one of the coolest origin stories, or Red Hood, I guess you should say.
yeah,
And I also love how like Batman has kind of just accepted it in the comics now. Like he kind of just does his vigilante thing, you
yeah.
know? But yeah, I'm Jason Todd's my like diehard. I love Jason Todd. And I really hope uh my guy from who plays Jason on Titans, I really hope they do a Red Hood story for him.
Oh yeah, I would definitely love to see a Red Hood live action. It would
Oh,
definitely be very cool to have that kind of popular character finally made come to life.
yeah, I think they could do it. I mean, the way Titans handled Deathstroke's his suit, I think a Jason suit could look so sick. But yeah, that's definitely my top DC character. Like he's my favorite. I love him. Like I used to have Arkham City and would just literally play the Red Hood DLC like over and over and over again.
Oh yeah, I definitely played those Batman games.
Yeah, so good, so good. Are you excited for the? Did you play the Spider-Man? Did you play the Spider-Man PS4 yet?
Yep, I definitely played the Spider-Man, the other one, and I'm so excited for the new one to come
The
out.
Miles Morales one? How cool does that
Yeah.
one look? Oh, I know. I'm so excited. Oh my gosh.
I did not see that coming. It
Me
got
either.
me.
Me. Oh my gosh. I freaked out. I screamed for my girlfriend and everything, and because she knows how much of a dork I was with that. I'm telling you. But if I had my choice, I'd had a game room just decked out Marvel and DC. Like not even being a part of the show. I would just do
No,
it.
just my entire basement is filled with 1,000 movies and video games for PS2, PS4,
I
Xbox
love it.
360. Um,
I love it. As it should be. As it should be.
and I'm definitely also excited for the Avengers game to come out in September.
Yeah, that's starting to look really good. Like
I'm so excited. I've been wanting a game like that for a very long time.
me
They,
too. And
there used to be official movie games, but they don't make those kind of games anymore.
no, yeah, and then Ultimate Alliance is really the only thing you could get close to with that sort of game. That's the closest thing you got to playing with the Avengers. The one for Switch is really good though. I do love the one for Switch.
I don't have that one yet. I need to get a new Switch game.
You'll love it. You'll love it. If you like the Arkham and any superhero stuff in general. The Switch one is so good though, because they just completely changed the fighting and stuff. It's so good.
Right now, I'm playing The Last of Us Part 2.
Oh, you're how far are you?
I got it yesterday, so I'm kind of far along. Uh,
Okay. It's heartbreaking. I hear it's heartbreaking.
it's really heartbreaking. I did not see that coming.
Yeah, I know. I got to get to it. I just like I'm so attached to those characters that like I kind of don't want to play because then it's real. You know what I mean? If that makes any sense. It's like the
Yeah,
minute I play it, like I'll have to accept that happens, and I don't really want to
yeah.
accept it yet.
Same for any other video
But it
games
looks
I
so good.
play.
Kudos to them.
And
Yeah.
are you currently working on any new projects, or are you just kind of sitting at home due to the virus?
Well, I actually you'll get a kick out of this. So Luke obviously plays Pat in Stargirl, right?
Yep.
And our characters, I mean, I was with Luke all the time because of table reads and just being on set, but our characters don't cross paths too much in the show. We definitely have our moments, but we're not like around each other too much. So ironically, when we finished Stargirl, 2 weeks later, I got this movie and I had no idea that he's the lead of it. So we both were like leads of this football movie called 12 Mighty Orphans. Oh, well, that's what it was called when we did it. I don't know what it's going to be called. But we went and shot that movie in Texas for like 3 months. So Luke and I literally went back to back working with each other.
That's
So
awesome.
I know it was so much fun. So I did that. Right before quarantine hit. Like we finished that up. I got back for the holidays, and obviously the industry shut down for the holidays. So right when it was about to start back up, everything got shut down.
Yeah.
So yeah, I did the film, and then hopefully we get news on a second season and get word on that and everything like that. But right
Yeah.
now I've just been hanging
I'm
out. I'm
praying
also
for the second season.
yeah, pray right. I'm also a musician, so I've just been like trying to spit out new songs and music as much as I can.
Oh,
We have a new
fun.
song coming July 10th, so that will be fun, and I'll be sure to let you know about it too and
Yeah,
all
I'm
that.
excited. I'm looking
Yeah,
forward to hearing it.
but yeah, just trying to keep busy, and also just I've just been really lucky to be able to enjoy myself and just see the response to the show and stuff. It's just been
Yeah.
so nice. Like we always knew people were going to love it, but it's just so cool seeing, finally being able to talk to the fans and all these like cool stories. And just like you were saying, people reaching out and being like, you know, this character means so much to me. This character helped me get through this. I'm so glad you guys made a show. Like that's so beautiful. Like that's always so amazing to hear. And like when you're on set, you get so in your head about the characters and the work, and like you always just have to remember it's so much bigger than you are. So I've honestly just been really enjoying myself just watching people love the show and watching with people, because like I said, the entire cast, like we're watching with you guys. We don't know, like we know in the script what happens, but with editing and stuff like that, stuff could get edited out, stuff could be changed for certain, like we're with you guys. We don't know what's going to happen. So it's really cool, like watching together and freaking out together. Like we've never seen the CGI done. Like we haven't seen anything done. So we're with you. Like when Stripe comes and lands and looks cool as hell, that's
Oh,
us also being like, oh my God, he looks great. Like we don't see any of it, just like you guys. So it's been so
and
much
I
fun.
really enjoy watching the show with you guys every week.
Yeah, it's
Tuesdays. That's when I lost the power.
yeah. No, I tell you what, and I'm such a sucker, man. I am so impatient. The minute it hits, technically it comes out on Sunday night on DC Universe. Technically, if you have the DC app, it'll come out like Sunday nights at 9, right?
Yeah.
So I watch it on Sunday, I watch it on Monday, and then I watch it on Tuesday. Like I love it. So I just like, also I'm just a fan. So I just like, but I have to watch it immediately. The minute it comes out, I gotta watch it.
I'm that way with any
Um,
other show or any other movie, especially with another superhero show that I watch right now. It's Agents of Shield, Marvel's Agents of Shield.
Agent of Shield, yeah. Is this their last season?
Yep, it's the last season.
Oh my gosh, aren't they supposed to finally connect to the MCU universe though? I know they've connected before, but isn't there supposed to be like a full circle thing?
I have no idea. They kind of stopped connecting after.
Right.
I didn't see a connection with Infinity War Endgame. They just kind of went a completely different direction.
Yeah. I remember after they did the whole Hydra thing, that they knew about Hydra after Winter Soldier. I knew it was connected then. But I heard there's rumors going around that they're about to connect it like full circle, like all that stuff that
Yeah,
wasn't
I mean, you
connected.
never know. I mean, we could just
Yeah,
like crossed over with Agent Carter, so that's
yeah.
going on right now.
Isn't it crazy that Chris Baker was also in Agents of Shield?
Yes, I read about that when the show started. I couldn't
Yeah,
believe that he
it
was
was
on the show.
it
Like,
was so funny
you
because
that's really
yeah,
cool. I would definitely, if I ever get an
we were
interview with
literally.
him, I'm gonna be
Go ahead, sorry.
talking to him about that.
Yeah. Yeah, it was so funny because we were shooting our scene in the study where he asked me about the staff for like the first time. And we were joking about how like he's like, I literally just got off a Marvel set and now I'm on a DC set. I was like, dude.
That's really cool to be a part of both Marvel and DC.
So that's my dream. My dream is to be a strong character in both. That would be like, oh, that'd be crazy.
I hope to work in movies too. So if I get a chance to work on both Marvel and DC, that will be a dream come true for me.
Oh, keep this up. Keep doing it. Keep reaching out, and I'll be sure to shout you out to everybody and connect you to, you just let me know.
Really?
Yeah, just because I'm with the cast. So if you're trying to interview people, I'll be sure to shoot them your way. I mean, they've obviously
they're awesome. I've done
spread out
already, and I tried emailing reps, but a lot of the agencies were closed due to the virus, so that way didn't work. So
yeah, I was gonna.
That would be cool if you could be able to help. That would be very cool.
Yeah, I was gonna say just keep reaching at it, and I'll talk to them too because half of it is more just like some people are vacationing right now because like back home and stuff. So I think especially once we start riding into these later episodes, it'll be easier to get a hold of everybody.
Yeah.
But you just I obviously have your info, so whenever they come around, they're like, hey, so and so is trying to interview me. We normally all collectively talk to each other. You know what I mean? To see if we've done it, and we can all just like put in a good word.
Well, absolutely. I look forward to it, and I look forward to talking to everyone sometime soon and setting something up.
Yeah.
That would be really cool if I got to talk to everyone. I have so many questions to ask. And I can't thank you enough, Jay, for taking the time to talk with me today. It's been a lot of fun.
Absolutely. This has been a blast. I love it. Yeah.
We should do this again sometime when season 2 comes out, if it happens.
Yeah. Maybe even at the end of the season, I'd love it to have a recap and talk about everything. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be fun. I'll reach out. I have your email attached to my Zoom information, so I can just email you.
Perfect.
Go from there.
Yeah, just let me know.
All righty, I'll shoot you an email letting you know about giving you my information, and we'll go from there.
Cool. I don't want to mess your recording up. So do you end
I put on my end, so I can stop recording anytime right now.
Okay, cool. So I'm making sure that once I leave, I'm not gonna mess you up, right?
Nope. I think I got everything I got right here.
Okay. Well, this is awesome. Thank you so much.
Again, and I'll send you a message sometime in a couple days, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, sounds good. All right, you be safe. Have a good one.
Bye.
Bye.